Okay. So far we've got Bastián, Diego Farias, Diego Troncoso, Gaspar, Ignacio, Kelly, Maite, Marieta, and Sebastián. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I think I'm sharing with you this website. It says what to do under quarantine, and we're going to edit it, right? We're going to add some categories. Categories like, for example, animals. Can you think about another category? For example, actions, verbs. Can you think about any other category?
Food.
Perfect. Food. Can you think about any other?
Clothes.
Perfect. Clothes. Can you think about any other?
Song.
Come again?
Song.
Excellent. Songs. Can you think about another one?
Countries.
Excellent. We can maybe get it this like countries and continents maybe, just to make it a little bit more, a little bit easier on us. Countries and places, countries and cities, maybe. Any other?
Movies.
Movies, what a great category. Any other?
Series.
Can be like movies or TV series, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sports.
Sports. Wonderful. Any other? Maybe one last one? One last category? Okay, let's leave it like that. Maybe a free choice. I mean, you can decide here, okay? And the wheel is going to be called the wheel. Very original name. All right, the wheel. Let's apply the changes. And here we have the wheel that we designed. Okay, so who would like to take the first turn? The first turn. Sebastián Camaño, would you like to take the first turn?
All right, let's do it.
Alrighty, so choose one letter, please, from the alphabet. Any letter.
N.
M as in mother?
As in near.
Okay, N as in near. Good. Spin the wheel. This is for you, Sebastián. Country or city starting with N. Sebastián, you have 5 seconds.
New York.
Excellent. Give me a name, Sebastián. Somebody else, another participant.
Bastián.
Bastián. Choose a letter, Bastián.
P.
All right, P as in pen, right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Oh, anything starting with a P. Except pen, of course.
Pineapple.
All right, pineapple. Excellent. Pineapple. Sebastián, give me a name, please.
Marieta.
Marieta, choose your letter. Marita, choose a letter, please, from the alphabet. Marita, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you choose a letter, please? Because I could be
The
spinning the
letter
wheel.
D.
The letter D, as in day. Here we go. Wow, a free choice. Anything starting with D, except day.
Um, in the country.
Okay.
It makes me nervous. Denmark.
Denmark. Perfect. Give me a name, Marita, please.
Diego Farias.
Diego Farias. Your letter, Diego Farias, is
A.
A. Here we go. Wow, another free choice, Diego.
Okay. And what I have to do now?
Say one thing, anything starting with A.
Excuse me?
You have to say anything, any word that starts with the letter A.
Animals.
Animals. All right. All right. All right. Now let's make this a little bit more complex. Just a little bit more complex. Give me a name, Diego, please.
Name of a classmate?
A name of a classmate. Exactly.
Mm, um, Gaspar.
Okay, Gaspar. Gaspar, give me a sound. One sound, not a letter. One sound.
Son of God.
Any other sounds that you know? A consonant sound or a vowel sound?
Vowel sound or consonant sound.
Yes.
Could be the schwa.
Okay. The schwa. So here we go. Okay, name a country or city that has the sound
Countries and city with the sound. Could be Brazil.
Perfect. Brazil. Brazil. Excellent.
Brazil.
The first vowel sound should be a schwa, right? Because it's unstressed.
Unstressed.
Excellent. Gaspar,
Yeah.
give me one name, please.
No problem, teacher. No problem.
You got Roberta. Hello, Nicolás. You there?
Roberta Contreras.
Okay, Roberta. Choose one consonant sound or vowel sound, please.
Hello, teacher. Sorry, I just getting the class, so I don't know what are you doing.
I know. So you have to choose one vowel sound or consonant sound.
Oh, oh, I really don't know. I'm lost. I just wake up.
Okay,
Sorry.
me too. That's why I'm having a cup of coffee. So don't worry, we're all kind of sleepy yet. So from any consonant sounds or vowel sounds that you know, right? Choose one, just one of
Maybe
them.
E.
E, excellent. E, long E, right? E,
Right.
excellent. I'm going to spin the wheel for you.
Okay.
So you have to say the name of one food that starts or has the sound E. Not easy, not easy.
No, I can't. Food with E. Oh, I don't know.
You can call someone, like in the game, right? You can call someone in the group. Pretend you're calling someone. Asking for help. Who would you call for help? For help in this group?
I don't know. I can see names. Nicholas,
Okay, Nicolas.
please.
Nicolas, you're getting a phone call. Someone is calling you for help. Nicolas. Pick up, Nicolas. Pick up the phone.
Excuse me, what?
Okay, say hello. No, I'm just kidding. So, Roberta has to say one food, vegetable, fast food, whatever, that has the sound E, a long E.
Long E.
Yes.
Can it be a drink?
All right. Yeah. Sure.
Beer?
Beer, right. Does it have a long E? Good question. Does it have a long E? But anyway, it has the sound E. If we get this sort of general rule, it has a short E, but anyway, the sound E is present. Thank you so much, Roberta and Nicolas. Thank you so much. Alrighty. You see this upgrading the game, turn it into a little bit more complex because you have to think about not just the spelling, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, but the sound. And sometimes the sounds do not match with the spelling, right? If you remember, Nicolas' option was beer. Beer is spelled with double E. B-E-E. I mean, that E, right? That one, right? E. I just want to keep in mind that maybe it's the other way around. Okay, so I think the last time we met, probably you were having classes with Miss Javiera Cabeza, or we were in the same virtual room, and we were talking about concepts like tone, tonality, and tonicity. And that's what I would like to take up again. What do we mean when we refer to tone, tonality, and tonicity, right? That's the idea. Does anyone remember what we refer to when we talk about, for example, tonality? Any idea, any thoughts that come to your mind? When we talk about tonality, anything that comes from the previous sessions? No, nothing at all.
We divide the text in different segments.
Exactly, Cesar, right?
Divide the text, yeah.
Exactly, Gaspar. We divide the text, right? We chunk it up, right? We divide, we segment what we talk. We don't talk non-stop. At some point, we are grouping our ideas, like myself, like yourself. When you speak, you see, when you speak, and I make a pause, right? When you speak, you group your ideas into thought groups. Again, I'm making a pause, right? You cannot keep talking forever until you run out of breath. Even if you run out of breath, you have to make a pause. So when you run out of breath, like you need to breathe in again, you make a pause, right? So grouping your ideas have to do with this muscular effort, right, that you're doing, with how you group your ideas. So it's there's some sort of psychological component to segmenting ideas. And also when you are writing, you punctuate, right? You use punctuation to express or to let the reader understand that at some point there is a pause, a short pause, like when you're using a comma, right? Or a period, and a full stop, right? When you're using, for example, when you are continuing your ideas in a different paragraph. So several factors affect the way you chunk, divide, segment your ideas into thought groups, right? Or some people call them tone units, right? Or intonational phrases, right? IPs. What about tonicity? Does anyone remember anything that has to do with the concept of tonicity? Tonicity. What about this one?
Is that when you separate in pre-head, head, and the
Until.
yes, is that or that is tone?
No, you're right. You're right. Once you have separated the international phrases or IPs or tone units or thought groups, there are so many names, right? Once you separate these ideas, you have to emphasize one element more. One element is going to carry the tone stress, right? And that's going to be, right, the nucleus of that sentence, right? I think it was called the tonic stress, right? And then there are also some elements that are considered, particularly content words that have, if you remember, there was an example used by Miss Javiera Cabeza, I think. I don't remember if I showed you the example, or it was in a little less than an hour, right? So in the example, in a little less than an hour, let me see if I can little less than an hour. If I show you this bigger in the next slide, so we can work with this since it's okay. Let me see if I can. In a little less than an hour. So this is a statement, this is a tone unit or intonational phrase, or IP. In a little less than an hour, right? So hour would have or carry the tone, the tonic, right? Stress. Are we okay with that? You don't agree with this? In a little less than an hour, and a little contains two syllables. I use a primary stress or lexical stress to show that is the first syllable in little and not the second one, little, the one that is stressed. So I'm using this diacritic, right? This vertical stroke here, little. So that means that this becomes the head, right? Is that right? Hour carries the tonic stress, and little less than none becomes the head. Is that right? Wrong? What do you remember about this? Do you remember anything about this exercise?
Teacher,
Yes, sir.
I cannot understand too much the head, the pre-head, the tail, and that things I never understand.
You never understood this?
Yeah, I never understood the head, the pre-head, and the tail, and that things.
All right, all right. Let me see if I can find a the presentation that was used before. Just a second. Okay. So what we need to remember is that when first we have to segment. It's easier when we start segmenting the tone units, right? And then we need to identify that every single sentence or intonational phrase has one tonic stress, one word, and within a word, one syllable that is the stress, the one that carries the stress. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. Hopefully it's this one. I think so. Okay. Ta-da! I found it, and I'm ready to share. I think so. I'm looking at the presentation, but it doesn't show. It doesn't show. Maybe if I get rid of. Okay, maybe if I get rid of the other one, I'm going to get the new one here. Okay, I think I'm sharing now. Halliday's definition for tonality, tonicity, and tone. I don't know if you're seeing sort of a white PowerPoint slide with an orange section at the top.
Yes,
teacher.
Yes?
we are.
Excellent. So first, we divide the text into intonational phrases, right? Which is what Sebastian and Gaspar referred to as a division, right, of this speech into tone units or IPs, intonational phrases. And then tonicity has to do with identifying the most important element in this intonational phrase. Important because it carries the tonic stress. Okay, whenever we speak, there's one element that we make more prominent, that we make more relevant, that we make more relevant. Remember, if you can listen to this intonational phrase, that we make more relevant, that we make more relevant. Which word do you think stands up in the intonational phrase that we make more relevant? That we make more relevant. Probably you can identify that relevant, right, is the most important word or element in the intonational phrase that we make more relevant, right? Relevant. Now, within the word relevant, relevant has many syllables, right? Relevant, at least 3 syllables. Now, not all of those 3 syllables are prominent. One of them is the most prominent one. Relevant. Probably you're able to perceive that is the first one, right? Relevant. So, relevant, that is the syllable that carries the tonic stress, right? The one on which the emphasis is placed. Whatever comes after it or whatever comes before receives a name that we're going to deal with right now in the examples previously seen in I think 2 weeks before. So the concepts used when we talk about tonicity are tonic syllable, also TS, right? The head, which is all stress syllable up to, but not including the tonic syllable. We're going to use the letter H for head. Pre-head, any unstressed syllables before the head, we're going to use PH. And the tail is any unstressed syllable following the tonic. We're going to use the T. Now let's apply these concepts that might be quite difficult to understand in the following examples. First of all, tone unit or intonational phrase, right? Or thought group, whatever you want. So those is a tone unit or an intonational phrase. Give me those is also one IP. In a little less than an hour is one IP. And then I said my father was there. Sorry. And then I said my father was here. Can't see with the sun. Okay. So all of these are IPs. This one is an IP. This one is an IP. Number 3 is an IP. And number 4 is an IP. So far, so good?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so in all of them, one syllable carries the tonic stress, which is the tonic syllable. In the case of number 1, it's very easy to identify because it's just one word. One word which contains one syllable. Those is one syllable word. Those. So the tonic syllable is basically the vowel sound, right? The diphthong, right? Give me those, right? Not these ones. Give me those. Give me those. In this second IP, those again is the one carrying the tonic stress. The tonic syllable is in the same element, those. In IP number 3, in a little less than an hour, hour, this would be the tonic syllable. Okay? Hour. Hour is also a one syllable word. Hour. Right? And in number 4, and then I said my father was here. And then I say my father was here. Father, fa. That would be the tonic syllable in this IP. Okay? Now, okay. Now let's deal with all these other elements. In the second example, we already identified that those was the tonic syllable. Before we have the elements give me, right? Give me. So before the tonic syllable, we have the head, right? And it's easy to identify because we have the verb give, which is stressed. So the head starts from this stressed syllable before the tonic syllable. That's the head of this international phrase. In the international phrase number 3, we already identified that our is the tonic syllable of this international phrase. Before, we have in a little less than an hour. So all of this could be the head, but the head starts from the first stressed syllable, little, le is the first stressed syllable, up to an. So this would be the head. The head, so it's whatever comes before the tonic syllable and starts from the first stressed element, little, the first stressed syllable here. And in is not stressed, is not stressed, so that becomes the pre-head. Okay, so in international phrase number 3, we have a tonic syllable, we have a head, and we have a pre-head. And in international phrase number 4, and then I say my father was here, and then I say my father was here. We identified that the tonic syllable is fa. Fa. Now, anything that comes after that tonic syllable is the tail. The tail. Okay? Anything that comes before is the head. But the head starts from the first stress element. In this case, said is the first stressed element. So the head starts from said and finishes in my. And the pre-head has all these unstressed elements. And then I, and then I, and then I. All of them are unstressed. And then I. So that's a pre-head. Said my, said is stressed. So that's where the head starts. And what does the head finish? Right before the tonic syllable. Said my, tonic syllable. Father, the tail, the was here. Father, the tonic syllable. The was here. Okay, so that is the idea. First, in a tone unit or in an international phrase, you need to identify which is the most relevant syllable, the most prominent syllable, not relevant, the most prominent syllable or salient syllable. And then the other elements are optional. I mean, for example, in the first international phrase, you have one word. That specific word contains the tonic syllable. And there's no head, and there is no pre-head, and there's no tail. There isn't any tail either. And in example number 2, we have the head of this international phrase. There's no tail, there's no pre-head. Okay? And if you have, for example, in an hour, right? In an hour. In the tone unit or international phrase in an hour, we use vertical marks, right? Vertical lines or vertical bars, if you wish, to define that this is an international phrase. You see that we have these vertical bars here in all of the international phrases here. So in an hour, this is an international phrase. Which do you think is a tonic syllable in the international phrase in an hour? What do you think? In an hour, yes?
Teacher,
Yes, sir?
what is the difference between the tonic syllable and the head?
The tonic syllable is the most relevant element, the most prominent element in an utterance or in a tone unit. For example, in exercise number 3, in a little less than an hour, hour is the most relevant element. Is not in a little less than a minute, in a little less than a day, in a little less than a week. When is he coming back? In a little less than a minute. When is he coming back? In a little less than a day. I mean, the important or most relevant element in this in the way that I say this international phrase is hour. In a little less than an hour. I could have said a day. I could have said a minute. So it's important for me to stress that it's an hour. That's why I say it in a little less than an hour. I want the listener, right, to pay attention to that specific element in this utterance. So in a little less than an hour. So hour becomes more prominent, right? The most prominent element in this utterance. So that is the one containing the tonic syllable. Now, in the utterance in a little less than an hour, there are other elements that are stressed, because whenever we think about little, we have to stress the first syllable. We cannot say little. I mean, in this two syllable word, we have to make the first syllable more prominent than the second one, right? Little, not little. So the word little carries a stress, but it's not as important, it's not as prominent as the stress carried by the word hour. So the one that is most prominent will be the one carrying the tonic syllable or tonic stress, and the other one is going to be where the head starts. That's basically the definition of head, right? If we go back to so any stressed syllable, right, in an utterance before the tonic syllable, not including the tonic syllable. Okay, so once we identify the tonic syllable, hour in this case, right? Anything that we can detect or identify that is stressed in this utterance is going to become the head, starting from the first stress element, right? The head cannot start from in, because in is not stressed. It's not stressed. Let's take a look at the example that I was giving you. This one. In an hour. In an hour. Hour, right, would be the tonic syllable. Hour. In an hour. Now, is there any stressed syllable before hour in this utterance?
No.
No, right? So we don't have any head. The head is not present here because there's no stressed element here. So if we don't have a head, what do we have?
A prehead.
Perfect. We have a pre-head.
We have a prehead without a head. That's
Without a head. Exactly. Exactly. That's correct. We have a pre-head. We don't have a head because we don't have a stressed element, a stressed syllable before the tonic syllable. Okay. So that's basically the idea. And an example here at the bottom, which is basically the same one, except I think, in a little less than an hour, I think, in a little less than an hour, I think, right, becomes unstressed, because the most relevant element here is hour. In a little less than an hour, I think. So it's quite plain. It's quite. It's not prominent. The last section, I think. That's why it's anything that comes before the tonic syllable, the most prominent syllable in an utterance, it's going to be called the tail. The tail is not very, very important, right? It's just whatever comes after the most prominent element in an utterance. Let me see if we can get some more practice with how can I, there it is, because it was all underlined in okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. Are you seeing the word? I think you are already.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So maybe what I could do is yeah, maybe we could do this. I don't know if it's going to work. Let me see if it's going to work. Alrighty. So how would you divide this? How would you mark the tonality here?
Yeah, with commas or with that.
Yeah, but punctuation would help, right? But punctuation is not present here. I mean, I deliberately erased punctuation. Let me see if I can share with you this. I'm going to copy this in the chat box. Okay, so this is in the chat box. Feel free to divide this to mark the tonality. And whenever you want, we can do it as a group. Wait, is time for us to have a break. Let's have a 10-minute break. And after the break, we are going to take this again to start dealing with tonality, right? So we can segment this into international phrases. Then we're going to apply tonicity. That is, we're going to identify what the tonic syllable is for each one of these international phrases. And then we're going to try to guess what kind of tone each international phrase would have, okay? And after that, I'm going to show you a video in which someone is talking actually, so we can hear and we can match your the exercise that we're going to be working with and the actual video in which someone is someone named Canwin, right, is actually saying this. Okay, so if you're okay with this, we're going to have a 10-minute break. For those of you who are coming back after the break, we're going to be practicing with this very short text the idea of tone, tonality, and tonicity. Okay, so I'll see you in about 10 more minutes. Enjoy the break. I'm going to stop recording right now.
See you later, teacher.